So for us, it's something that you can work on. It's with repetition. I find myself, my imagination, the things that I'm visualizing, each time I meditate, they become more and more clear. So at first it was very fuzzy. I was like really straining, trying to see something, and now it's more comfortable. I can see fuller pictures and fuller things in my mind.
Yeah, my virtual it's so fun. Like it is so fun. Like being in your own virtual reality and everything. Like you have your dream car. I got my Tesla Model X. I got my 7-bedroom mansion with the pool and overlooking the ocean in Hawaii with my family there. And like everything is perfect. And that's the point, is to feel great, you know. Feel great while you're doing it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Black Vision Network. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm excited that you're here. We're both excited that you're here.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're going to learn some more today. We're going to, share some knowledge. And then if you guys like what we're talking about and you want to add to the conversation, just go ahead and comment down below.
Smash that like button.
Yes, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and come along for the journey. So this week's episode is my favorite subject, self-love. It's my new favorite subject.
Yeah, we can tell. You're excited, uplifted. We love to see it.
Yeah, I love self-love because once you love yourself, you really can give a lot more when it comes to loving other people. And so it's important because, a lot of people go throughout life and they're just like, I don't like where I am. And it's like, why don't you go to where you want to be? And they're like, well, because everybody else will think something of me. And I'm just like, who else is living your life? No, they're not living your life. You have to live your own life. And it starts with loving yourself and loving everything about you and talking yourself up and being your biggest cheerleader. So this week we're giving you some of our top tips that we practice self-love for ourselves.
Yes.
And hopefully you can take these back and implement them into your own life.
Yes. So it's super important, first, the reason why we want to talk about this subject is because as it pertains to Black people, I think we as a people, we struggle with self-love in particular. You see things with colorism, light skin versus dark skin, and you can just see self-hatred coming out in things that we as Black people say about ourselves or we say about others. Oh, your hair is too nappy. You shouldn't dress like this.
You shouldn't be in the sun too long.
Yeah, you too dark, things like that. So really, when I hear things like that, I know that, as we've been reading and growing in knowledge, that comes from issues that you have internally with yourself. You talk proper for a Black person, things like that. All those come from insecurities that person is dealing with themselves. So we want the Black community as a whole to first of all, know what it means to be Black. Have pride in what it means to be Black, and know that you are kings and queens, and you don't need to talk anybody else down because you have a knowledge and power within yourself.
And from that, each of us is unique in our own way. No matter what color, shapes, form, size, we each have our uniqueness, and that's what makes us the same, Like everything, you actually don't want to be the same as somebody else because where's the interest in that? You should take all the experiences and, memories that make up who you are and use that to your advantage. And, only you can do that. That's your superpower. So, you ready to start with these tips?
Yeah, let's go into it.
All right, you
want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, so we're going to give a list of, I think, 8 tips. So kind of piggybacking off of something that we discussed briefly in other episodes. I'm sure we've touched on it before. But who you surround yourself with. And I know that we're talking about self, but who you surround yourself has such a big impact on what you do and how you feel about yourself. That's where I'm starting. Just because, like the saying says, you'll be the 5th. If you hang around 4 idiots, you'll be the 5th idiot. Things of that nature. So if you hang around 4 people that don't love themselves, don't know themselves, then you'll be the fifth person to go through life like that. So it's very important to be around, if you believe in God, God-fearing people, people who share your same beliefs, people who can uplift you. So not people who are just, think the same things as you, but who also may challenge you, but not challenge your self-worth and your self-love, but uplift you when you're going through something. Those who will be, hey, I know that you got this, or hey, you really look beautiful, or hey, I know that you can do this. I know you're struggling with this right now, but I know from what I know about you that you can overcome this. So having those solid people around you, whether it be friends, family, whatever, is very important to do an accounting of who you have around you, because that can be a big either detriment or positive to your self-worth and self-love.
Yeah, definitely. And usually when you're transitioning into a elevated stage in life, you start to lose people that you maybe have thought were your friends, but that's not a bad thing. And then if you're in a situation where you realize that your friends or who you hang around isn't really they don't have the same goals in life, it's about time to shed that dead weight so you can make way for friends who will actually, uplift you and meet you on top of the mountain,
Some slick bars, wait.
Yeah. So next we have one of my favorites. Everything's my favorite, I guess, but I love journaling. Like, I'm obsessed. I have like 7 journals, maybe. But they all each have their own purpose. Like, I have a journal where I wrote down my notes for like YouTube and like work stuff, and I have like a journal where I write down what I'm thankful for. And that's another thing. You should always be writing down. Always be grateful. Have a grateful heart for everything that you have right now, because that'll open way for you to be grateful for more things. And so I always like to wake up in the morning, and before I go to bed, I like to write down the whole page. I have like a smallish notebook, and I write down the whole page of things that I'm thankful and grateful for. And what that does is, it puts you in a grateful mood, and that feeling is just great, and it makes you feel good to just know that you'll always be taken care of, and if you stay grateful, you'll always be grateful. And so I highly recommend that you journal, and you can even do things such as scripting, where you write out your life as if it's perfect, and before you know it, the things that you wrote down are manifesting right before your eyes. So journaling is highly powerful. All the millionaires do it. Everybody that's successful that I can think of and I admire journals, and it's a habit, and it really does help you to be, get the creative juices flowing so that you can achieve every goal that you set out to make.
Nice. So I think a good transition for that is to have your accounting for your thoughts. So focusing on positive thoughts and taking account of what things are entering and coming out of your mind, because everything that you do, all your actions, things that come out of your mouth, they start with what you're thinking. So I think a couple of the books that we talked about in our last episode talk about ways to do this. But it's very important not to just go through life without paying attention to what you're thinking about constantly. So one thing about self-love is you can force your mind to think positively. You can make sure that when you see a negative thought come through, one thing I like to do is visualize me throwing that thought away. So putting it either in a garbage can or an incinerator, but I like to visually say, okay, I'm taking this negative thought and I'm removing it permanently. And so then what you can do by doing that is also force positive thoughts into your head. And based on the law of attraction, things of that nature, the more positivity that is vibrating around you, the more positive things you will receive, because that positive energy attracts. So it's very important to take accounting of your thoughts, control your thoughts, and not be a victim of your thoughts.
Yeah. So bouncing back to what he said about thoughts, when you have a negative thought, you know you have a negative thought because we have a gift that humans have called your emotional guidance system, and it breaks down the 2 feelings. I believe we talked about this in the last book, or in the last episode when we talked about our books. But you either feel good or you feel bad. And when you feel bad, you're thinking thoughts that don't resonate with, your well-being. And when you feel good, when you feel joyful, when you feel excited, and you feel anticipation that something good is coming, that's when you feel good, and that's when you're resonating with your inner being. And your inner being always wants the best. It knows your all your desires, everything that you've ever wanted. It knows exactly what you want. And so when negative thoughts arise, I think it's important that you realize that it's a negative thought, and you realize it when you feel bad, or when you feel like depression or anger or resentment. That's like feelings that are telling you you're thinking negative thoughts. And we don't want that. And the good thing about negative thoughts, there's always an opportunity to hone in onto exactly what you do want. Because once you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And so, like you said, throw that thought away and replace it with listening. Listen, like when you know what you don't want, you know exactly what you do want. So pay attention and replace the thoughts. It doesn't even have to be forced. It comes often natural once you try and deliberately have intention to do it. You know exactly what you want. And once you focus on that, it literally manifests. And when other people are involved, depending on who it is, everyone is a vibrational being, and they can sense your thoughts. Like, have you ever felt like somebody was staring at the back of your head, and you turn around and you meet their eyes? That's literally because they're focusing, and you can feel their energy coming towards you. And so you can try it. I try it with him all the time. I'm like, give me a kiss, give me a kiss, give me a kiss. He gives me a kiss, it's really random.
Burning your eyeballs to the side of my head.
But yeah, always pay attention to your thoughts and listen to your emotional guidance system.
And just one more, sorry, but one more point on that is there's a big thing with positive and negative thoughts is momentum. So that feeling that you get of just being completely overwhelmed, not knowing where you can go next, just filled in anger, sadness, whatever, a lot of times is because you're focusing on that thing. And like I said, with law of attraction, those things are drawn to you. So have you ever felt like, man, something bad happened, and then it becomes a repetition, a rhythm of bad thing after bad thing after bad, snowball effect. Thank you, that's what I was looking for. Because you're focusing on that thing, and whether you want to believe it or not, because you're focusing on that thing, you're going to continue to snowball down. But you can also, do the flip side of that, do the opposite, and you can have a snowball effect of positivity if that's what you choose to focus on. So I don't want to, it's not really a forcing, but what I was trying to get across with that is it takes repetition. So you have to do it over and over again. And for people like myself who are I've been kind of a wayward thinker, my thoughts are just my thoughts, this is just whatever. It really takes repetition to say, okay, what is that? Why am I thinking it? So that's what I mean by that.
So I feel like that subject almost deserves a whole episode by itself, because we can go so much more in depth. I feel like we're just scraping the surface. It's like the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more, and a lot of those books that we recommended, you can dive deeper into it, and it can tell you a lot of what we're talking about, and especially if this is not making any sense to you. Basically, it waters down to the law of attraction and how much you're allowing what you're attracting into your life. So
Ask It Is Given, big one for that. Think and Grow Rich, another big one for that.
You Are a Badass.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
Great, I love it. They're like the same thing.
You guys are some badasses.
We shouldn't cuss. I'm gonna bleep that out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I cuss. But let's move on, because it kind of trickles into the next one, which is meditation. I started meditating about a year ago. I got this app called, I started meditating about 4 years ago. That's the first time I deliberately meditate. I think it was my sophomore year of college. So it was about 4 years ago, and I was in San Francisco, and I swear my soul left my body for a second and was looking down at me. And I was like, oh!
That wasn't something else?
I'm sure it wasn't that. I'm sure it wasn't that. Dang, honestly, it never felt like anything I've ever felt before, and it was awesome. But yeah, once I experienced that, I started to get into the practice of meditating, and I fell off a lot. But now it's I feel like I can't function correctly without it. Almost once you get in the habit of exercising, you don't feel right when you don't exercise.
That's true.
But meditation is basically, no matter what you're feeling, it's especially good to meditate when you're feeling down because it instantly raises your vibration. And meditating is the practice of focusing on your breath or trying to clear your mind. You can focus on, maybe you can focus on the water dripping out of a faucet, but basically you're clearing your mind enough so that your vibration raises to where it naturally is, which is well-being. And it clears your mind so that the things that you do want start attracting. I said clear your mind a lot. It's just to clear your mind, because like a lot of the times people feel like they're controlled by outward influences, and there's a lot of negativity and fear and a lot of just crazy stuff going on around the world. Like, I can't even get on Instagram anymore if I didn't have a business, like, or Facebook, like. But yeah, it's just making sure that you have a clean slate so that your creative juices can flow and you can, express yourself the way. I feel like I got stuff on my arm. You can express yourself the way you were actually meant to express yourself, and in your most clearest form of yourself, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, it helps you to focus. Like, it helps me to be able to focus on tasks that I have throughout the day. I can get them. Like, I feel like sometimes I'll give myself a whole week, and it'll take a whole week. And sometimes I'm like, I can get this done in an hour. And like when I meditated, I can just zone in on stuff a lot easier, and it just opens me up to newer experiences and new thoughts. And I like to visualize as well. I love visualizing because it's like an alternate reality, except you control everything. Like, nothing is impossible. So I recommend meditating and visualizing. But meditating is clearing your mind. Visualizing is focusing and creating a picture, like a movie in your mind. So.
And there's no right or wrong way to meditate. So one thing I know, when you meditate, you like to focus on clearing your mind.
I focus on my breath.
Your breath, I'm sorry. What I like to do when I'm meditating is I would like to focus on things that I want. So one thing that I read in Think and Grow Rich is it's important to, if you have a goal for yourself, you want to create that goal and turn it into a burning desire. So what I try to do every morning and night is read the goal that I've set for myself before I go to bed. And when I meditate, usually in the morning, I focus on that goal. So I focus and visualize, like Janae said, myself achieving that goal. And on the steps that it will take for me to achieve that goal, I picture me doing those things. So you can meditate in a lot of different ways, but all it really is just either focusing on clearing your mind, focusing on something that you want. You're directing and trying to hone your energy into one thing. And so it can be a very powerful tool, like Janae said, to get those creative juices flowing, help you visualize how you can achieve a goal. And sometimes, a lot of times, revelations may come to you through meditating as well, or praying. Same kind of thing. I kind of mix those two together.
And yeah, like you said, there's no right or wrong way. You can start off with as little as 3 minutes a day. In the morning, I like to, read, go on a walk, and I'll do like a 3-minute, clarifying meditation, 3 to 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. And then at night, when I'm winding down, because I know I'm a vivid dreamer, I like to put specific thoughts into my brain. So the morning meditation is where I like to clear my mind so that I can, get stuff done throughout the day. And then my night meditation is I like to visualize. I like to be very intentional because with the law of attraction, your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagination. So I like to be in my virtual It's so fun. It is so fun. Being in your own virtual reality and everything. You have your dream car. I got my Tesla Model X. I got my 7-bedroom mansion with the pool and overlooking the ocean in Hawaii with my family there. And everything is perfect. And that's the point, is to feel great, Feel great while you're doing it. And speak it into existence, because once you have that thought and you believe that it's going to come through, you start to walk in the way that makes you become what it is, and then before you know it, you are it. So a lot of people go through life thinking that the world tells them what is going to happen with their life, when in reality you tell the world what you're going to do with your life.
Absolutely.
It's like the saying goes, a lot of people are an extra in their own movie of life. I'm like, oh heck no, I'm the superstar of this mug.
And don't just get discouraged at all. So like sometimes I know me, Janae is a much more vivid imaginator. That's not a word. Visualizer and dreamer than I am. Like I can't tell you the last time I had a dream that I remembered. So for us, it's something that you can work on. It's with repetition. I find myself, my imagination, the things that I'm visualizing, each time I meditate, they become more and more clear. So at first it was very fuzzy. I was like, really straining, trying to see something, and now it's more comfortable. I can see fuller pictures and fuller things in my mind. So don't get discouraged if it's not something that you think should come to you naturally, because it's not. And with anything in life, you can improve it with repetition.
Yeah. And an actual tip in a book I'm reading called The Secret. It's a very famous book. Highly recommend. You should read it too. I heard of it my mom was reading it a long time ago, and then like it just like disappeared into the back of my mind, and then it came up, and it's like exactly like the types of books that I'm reading about mindset, and they gave a tip on visualization.
There you go.
And they were talking about like a static picture is harder to hold in your mind than a dynamic picture. So like instead of picturing like what your dream kitchen looks like, picture you walking into your dream kitchen, opening up the door, grabbing you a cold bottle of water, and then picking it up, tasting it, and looking out your floor-to-ceiling windows at the mountainside. Like literally, like when it's like a movie, it's easier to hold your attention, and like as your creative juices flow, it creates more of an expanse in your imagination of the visualization. But yeah. Next.
So my next one is knowing your worth. So this may take some time for you to get to. I mean,
then add tax.
And yes, know your worth and then add tax. But this may be something that takes you a while. May take you a while to learn, to know. You may have to do some self-inventory, some self-discovery, spending time with yourself and trying to understand what it is that you're worth, or what you want to be worth. And so it's very important that once you know your worth, after meditating and keeping good people around you and doing your thought accounting, is not letting anything around you that isn't of your worth or in your path. So when you know and you walk in your worth of, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm whatever you want to be in life, wherever you want to live, and proud, I'm dark skinned and proud, I have 4C hair instead of whatever, and proud. Like knowing your self-worth and knowing yourself, once you do that, you have to hold yourself to that. You have to hold yourself accountable. You can't say, this person is bashing this person, that's not what I want to be. When you know your self-worth, you say, that's not for me. So you have to emphasize that and say, those thoughts, those actions that I may used to have aligned with, I can no longer align with, because my worth is higher. It's above those things that I used to do. And so it's kind of like you're transforming yourself, you're transforming and forging out a new path once you realize who you are and you step into it and you own it.
Yeah. So knowing your worth is like, how much do you love yourself? How much do you love yourself? And how much, like, you know, like a lot of people who are like very successful, you can't access them very easily because they know their worth. Like, are you gonna waste their time? Like, it takes a lot. It's not easy to get to them. So I feel like that's like one of those things. Like, you don't want to even waste is it worth it for you to hang around those people? Is it worth it for you to go to that place like where you know it's not a good place to be? Like, is it worth it to continue that habit when you know it does nothing for you? So once your worth is completely up to you. Like, what standards do you set? And ultimately, if you set them down there, you're gonna act like somebody down there. And if you're down here and you want to be somebody who's high value, high worth, tell yourself that. Tell yourself, give yourself self-affirmations. And as you start to believe it, you'll start to walk like it and talk like it, and then you'll become it. But it all starts with changing your thoughts so that you become that person.
And one important thing to note is that your worth is never fixed in life. So I talk to and know a lot of people who feel, well, this is the way that it's always going to be, and this is who I am, this is who I'm meant to be. Nothing is ever fixed in life. If that's your mindset, then yes, you will be fixed in that. But if you want to raise your worth, if you want to get out of surroundings that you feel are not conducive to you and where you want to go, raise your worth. Focus on the fact that I want to be in a higher vibration area. I deserve to be in a higher vibration area. And then as your actions and your thoughts will change to reflect that, and before you know it, like Janae said, you'll be in that higher vibration area. Nothing is ever fixed in life, and you can take responsibility and control of that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to raise your worth. I think that's also worth another video. And that includes a lot of the stuff we focus on and on our channel, which is like education, healthcare. Are you able to talk to people? Are you able to deal with conflict? Like, are you able to do a lot of things? Like, knowing and being able to generate wealth is part of like self-care, I feel like. And if that's your version of love, I mean, but yeah, let's move on to another way that you can express self-love to yourself. And that is exercising. Everybody's favorite subject, yeah. I know exercising is like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a, not taboo subject in the Black community.
Well,
but it's like either like
there's
like the stereotypical you play sports and stuff, or there's a lot of overweight people. Yeah, you just don't do nothing at all. And for those people, I think I really want to talk to those people on the side of the spectrum where they do a lot less. Like, exercise does not have to be difficult. If you have legs and you can walk, you can exercise. Walking is exercising, period. Like, it's like the easiest form. Like, if you don't have legs, like, you might as well be rolling that wheelchair, do something, like any type of exercise. Like, and that also goes, I guess, into eating and nutrition. But make sure you're putting food into your body that is nutritious for it and supplies the vitamins and nutrients that you need. And drink water, for goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. People really out here not drinking water. I need to drink some more water.
Thanks.
Shoot, but drink your water.
Mick Jenkins. Like Mick Jenkins said, drink more water.
Period.
Or you'll die.
Who said that?
Mick Jenkins, the rapper.
Oh, Mick Jenkins. I thought that was like Mick Jenkins, like somebody's last name.
No.
Drink water or you'll die. But literally, water, if you constipated, drink some water. If you got acne, drink some water. I don't know about everybody's skin problems. Everybody be triggered when you say drink water and they got pimples all over their face. But for me, it personally helps. I mean, no shots fired. Like, if you truly have a skin condition, go to the dermatologist or something. But water helps with a lot of stuff. If your hair not growing, drink some water. If, I don't know, you got some dry skin, drink some water. My mom used to always say when my lips was chapped, drink some water.
That's a fact.
And it don't help immediately, but when you get in the habit of drinking water, your lips will be supple and juicy.
I like that word.
Supple?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, exercising, like for me, I do a range. I like to weightlift. I go on walks in the morning for like an hour. I'll do like HIIT stuff on my personal channel. I have like fitness videos.
Plug.
Yeah, follow me at Janae the Bae. But anyways, exercise, like, it's also like the most abused antidepressant. Because when you exercise, especially when I work myself up to go on a jog.
She actually runs now.
Yeah, that runner's high is for real. Like, it makes you feel so invigorated for the rest of the day. Yeah, like, but for real, like, exercising, it always makes me feel so much better. Even if I'm hurting during it, those endorphins get pumping, and afterwards I feel great about myself. I'm like, I did something today to better myself. I'm one step closer to my dream body. I have my dream body. I can do this, 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 and this. Oh my gosh, shoot, she looking good today. Snatched, like, talk yourself up. Period. I need to stop saying period. But exercising is essential for your self-esteem, your confidence, your happiness, your health, like your lungs, everything. Gets your heart going. It makes your skin look good. It helps your hair grow. All of that. Do it to it.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, she summed it up. Something I like to do is learn new skills. So,
or increase your skills.
Yeah, or increase your skills in certain areas is because if you have trouble finding or honing in on things to say, oh, well, this is something that's good about me, or you can always go out and learn something new. You can always go explore, and whether it be now you're really into exercising, now you're really into trading, now you're really into reading, now you're really into doing some extreme sport. You can add value to your life by going out and finding a new skill or something new to do to add to your internal resume and say, hey, that's something I can visualize and focus on to make me feel good about myself. But if you have trouble, or even if you don't have trouble finding things to go through and say, these are things that make me valuable, these are things that increase my worth, then go out and find something to add to it. Find a new skill or increase your skills in other areas to say, hey, this is something that, I can do that somebody else may not be able to say they can do as well. And so if that does it for you, then find those things and use that to increase your self-worth, your self-love.
Yeah, that was really good. And when you learn a new skill, like you said, it adds to your worth, it adds to your value. Like all the skills that you acquired and all that specialized knowledge make you unique and irreplaceable. And once you find, your passion and maybe your career, all that specialized knowledge is only embedded in you, and it raises your worth and all that self-worth that you put into yourself. With this world, you can learn everything except maybe surgery online. You can probably learn surgery online, but nobody's gonna let you practice on them. So,
and we do not advise that.
No.
Do not hold Black Vision Network responsible if you go and mess somebody up.
But yeah, don't do that. But there's no excuses. I feel like a lot of people graduate college and they're like, this is the end. I don't have to learn anymore. This is only the beginning.
You used that already.
Yeah. But anyways, read a book. Play an instrument, go outside, talk to new people. A good way to figure out what skills you like is what interests you. What stuff do you are you already interested in, and how can you take a step further to give you more education and knowledge in that area. So yeah,
absolutely. And on that note, I think we have come to the.
Oh wait, no.
I should have.
Another form of self-love. This is our last one, and it's fairly obvious. But hygiene. Hygiene. No matter how much you love yourself, if you stink and you ain't brush your teeth, ain't nobody. I mean, unless they don't have a sense of smell. Unless they got coronavirus. They can't smell nothing.
So...
But practice self-love. If you're a girl and it makes you feel pretty to go get your nails done, go get your hair done, put some makeup on, go do that. If you're a dude and you just need to get a fade or you need to get a line up or you ashy or something, go do that. Do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel good, look good. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, you feel more good, It's like a cycle.
Right.
And so a lot of the times, I'm not trying to stress it. I guess that's why we saved it for last, because you gotta, once you start building up on the inside and building your self-worth and loving yourself from the inside, it's bound to show on the outside, and it just overflows.
Get that glow.
Yes.
But make a routine. I know it's hard,
Yeah,
working from home and being quarantined to, if you don't have anywhere to go, just, sitting in your funk, sitting in your breath. Just if you get a routine and stay in your natural routine of brushing your teeth and showering every day, every morning, every night, then you'll feel good about yourself. You know, it's hard to, like, I find myself sometimes, like, even like when we were kids and little, like during the summer when we didn't have to go to school, man, I used to just be sitting in a room. I'll go play basketball, come back, play 2K, and then go to sleep.
Okay,
And
little
then,
kids is different.
What I'm saying is you can start these habits as early as you want to. So
Yeah.
even as a kid, you know, it's easy when you don't have anywhere to go to get in that routine of, well, I don't really have to, you know, I don't really have anywhere to go. But no, it's important. Have a routine. If you do it routinely, it'll make it easier where you won't even feel like it's a burden.
Yeah, for real. You almost go on autopilot. And another tip, if you're a girl like me and his stepmom and his sister-in-law, our sister-in-law, we get our nails done together and it's fun. It's like girl time. So like if you can find people, I don't know what a guy would do hygiene wise. Maybe y'all can like, I don't know, cut each other's hair. When you go to the barbershop, guys, like it's like a thing. Even though right now nobody really goes to the barbershop.
Hey, learn a new skill. Learn
Yeah.
how to cut your own hair. I mean, you have time to mess up. Use a guard, and you won't mess up that bad. But learn a new skill, like cutting your hair or doing whatever. I mean,
Or doing your hair like braids or something. So, yes. Anything else? Well, guys, that pretty much sums up. Those are our like 8 main tips that we think that you can use and that we use to practice self-love, because self-love is like the key to everything.
yes.
Everything. Because when you love yourself, you don't accept anything else that doesn't show you love back. And you don't accept stuff you don't love as well. I mean, it's just, it leads to good things, leads to abundance, self-love, love yourself, and do all those things.
Yes. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you think there's something we should add to our list, something that you do, or your favorite thing, comment down below.
Oh, and subscribe. Subscribe. Especially if you made it this far. It's the end of the video and you haven't subscribed yet. Like, what? What are you doing?
Anyways, thank you for watching and welcome to the journey. We'll keep this train rolling for you.
Peace!